Fez Show, live on a Wednesday.
All right, it's 866-277-4969. We were going to move on, Fezzy, and every time we try, the phones are just blazing tonight. So we'll let people get a little bit off their chest. We were talking about what's going on in Iraq today. How do we get out, and how crazy is this S-storm going to get? Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Chris.
You're on the air. All right, hold on. This is Thorpe. Thorpe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hi, guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, I totally agree with Ron on this. I mean, I think you got to look at the context of the situation. I mean, you've got a bunch of guys that are, sitting there fighting for their lives. A lot of their comrades, friends, et cetera, guys they probably were in training with, maybe, getting blown up around. Some of their tours have been extended. I mean, these guys probably not in the best moods. They're probably pissed off at a lot of the Iraqis. And you're in the A and B block, which are the worst of the worst, apparently, of the guys that we have captured. Although I don't condone it, I mean, you got, as I said, hot-headed young guys, friends getting blown up or maimed or wounded. What are you going to do? You might have some fun with these guys, too.
I understand 1,000,000%. It doesn't mean that we should condone it, but I do
Absolutely not.
understand how in any war situation things could get weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a recipe, from what you're saying. You've got guys that are heavily armed and probably lightly supervised, and this kind of thing's going to, especially where you say, hey, guys, see what you can get some information out of these guys. That's just opening it up to
absolutely.
all kinds of problems.
Absolutely, 100%. David, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey. Hello?
Yeah, Dave, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Hey, buddies. The lady that called a couple of callers ago, I wasn't even going to call until I heard her. Every time Fez refuted her point, she seemed to not want to admit that we do wrong things in our military. We've done wrong things in the past, and we were wrong. The picture should have come out. The beheading was not good. It wasn't right. But we're not dealing with rational people. We do wrong things in the U.S. military. We have a history of doing wrong things. So I don't see why she's surprised or anyone is surprised. I mean, we do bad things in this country. We have a history of it.
Well, you could say the same for any history, and that's why we need the checks and balances. That's why we need a free press so that all of us can know what's going on at all times.
Well, just from a PR standpoint of trying to win over these Iraqis who have lived through the Saddam era, we can't come across as torturers ourselves.
Fezzy, we're getting over like new Coke. Trust me when I tell you, the PR war is over.
That one's lost.
They do not like us. They don't want to hang with us. They don't think that we're cool. They're not digging us at all. It's like the outsiders, Fez. Right now, they feel like we're the socias, they're the greasers. We're from the lucky side of the tracks. Our parents all got us cool, nice sweaters, and they're stuck wearing hand-me-downs. They're not digging us even slightly.
And Lindy England as Cherry Valance.
Here is, and you know what? I'm on Lindy England's side. I don't feel like I want to join on the pile-up on this poor inbred waterhead out of West Virginia who was just over there because she really couldn't go to college and had no work in her hometown. I just don't feel like I should be one of the people dropping the atomic elbow on her.
Well, if you look at her, she spoke on camera today. If you look at her, you can tell she's not the mastermind behind any sort of humiliation or torture or interrogation.
She's got the head the size of a baseball. She's not the brains of the outfit. And I'm sure she could go, give me 5 minutes with her, and I'll have her doing anything you want. I'll end up getting Cigar Sid laid if I had 5 minutes talking to her. I won't even have to give her a beer. All I'd have to do is start rapping, and trust me. Seymour, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
I got a quick question for you, man.
Yeah.
Would you say that we're pretty much in a stalemate at this point? We don't know which way to go. We don't know what's wrong and what's right anymore as far as what to do about this war. Would you say that's correct?
I think that's a pretty good assessment that we really don't know how to get out of it.
All right, well, let me make a quick point then, guys. I tell you what, the last two major conflicts that we were in a situation like this would probably be the Korean conflict and Vietnam, where we didn't know what to do. You know, we had half the country saying this is wrong, other half the country was being patriotic and everything else. But the difference is now we don't really respect our government. Back then, we would, pretty much what the commander-in-chief said, we would respect that. What our government said, we would respect that. And now, it's completely different. It's a completely different story. There's completely different dynamics going on. I'm just kind of curious what you guys thought about that.
Between now and Vietnam?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anytime that you're going to do metaphors, it's not going to be exact. But it's not far away. We're in quicker trouble now than we were this early in Vietnam, that's for sure.
The cleric, Al Sater, told his people, he goes, this is just like Vietnam, except for one difference. We're better equipped than the Vietnamese. So just hang tough.
Yeah.
So now they're using the analogy as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not like they don't have access to the Internet, Fez. Here is Jamil. Jamil, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm just saying, I don't understand what they think that, they're supposed to be getting. They're the ones who started this by using the airplanes.
All right, Jamil, you got to slow down. Who is they?
The Iraqis.
The Iraqis
people over there.
They had airplanes, and what did they do?
They bombed our Pentagon, basically. I mean, they drove planes into things.
Jamil, there was never an Iraqi who did that.
Okay. Well, then who was it? The people were hurting, correct?
It was no. It was Al-Qaeda. And the Al-Qaeda operatives that did that were Saudi Arabian.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way, then.
Yeah.
They have problems over there that I'm sure they're doing a lot to our soldiers. Mm-hmm. So what did they expect, massages?
Yeah. So I don't understand your point. So you're saying even though that they didn't attack the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we rolled into their country.
But we don't know what they're doing over there to our soldiers.
Right. Okay.
So what did they think they were going to do? Get cookies and be rewarded for what they're doing to them?
No, I don't think they were planning on the cookies and massages. Thank you.
Although now it might not be a bad idea.
Mark, you're on Fez.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Jeez, an act of terrorism is an act of terrorism.
I swear we need the big Tom drop. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, we do. We need that.
I saw the
you
video
need to start
today.
producing. Yeah.
I saw the video all the way through from start to finish.
Yeah, it's awful.
And it was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And what the soldiers did to the prisoners, an act of terrorism is an act of terrorism, no matter who's doing it.
Yeah, it's a very good point. It's a very good point that you're making.
There's no reason for us to be there.
Yeah.
And I've never felt that more than I do now.
Yeah, again, this is what keeps happening. When these things happen, all it's doing is the people who feel strongly in one direction tend to feel even more strongly now. Every time we get bad news, it just reinforces the way that they feel.
The guy who called earlier about making the Vietnam comparisons and how back then people respected the government.
This is crazy talk.
I respected the government this time. I respected the president, and I believed everything that I was told until I got lied to. And now I don't respect or trust because everything's been a lie.
You've lost your respect and trust in the government.
Yes, in this government, in this administration.
You know what I say, Fez? I say love it or leave it, my friend. Love it or leave it.
I love the country.
Why don't you go back to Newfoundland with the rest of your no-account family?
Oh, my mother says that just about every weekend.
Yeah.
Let's head back to Canada. No.
Well, you've got a nephew. You might have to get up there if this thing goes on for a few years.
Right, or they'll be drafting him and shaving his afro.
But here's the thing that you forgot, Fezzi. What happened on 9/11 when those Iraqis attacked us? And how long now? We are years, and people refuse to pay attention. And you will hear this by people who vote. They vote, Fez. That's my problem with an open election.
And, years later, still, like when President Bush, mission accomplished just a year ago, we get the speeches of, we have to fight them in Iraq instead of fighting them on our streets again. The Iraqis were never on the streets here. They never marched through New York, Washington, D.C., that field in Pennsylvania. It's crazy what we get fed. And how do you respect that when you get nothing but lies? And then told we're doing a good thing here.
Then who was it? That was my favorite line she had. Then who was it?
The Yankees.
Yeah. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Love your show.
Yeah, that's good.
Just wanted to comment on the one of the previous callers. Was basically calling us a coward why we didn't step up toe-to-toe with the Koreans. And,
yeah, I remember there was quite a few calls back.
Yes, it was. Sorry.
No problem.
But I'm trying to figure out where this freaking guy gets off calling us cowards when you see a bunch of masked guys and every Al-Qaeda member that we've ever seen other than Bin Laden is on the TV with a mask over his head. You don't see our troops over there with masks over.
But it's not like they have the same amount of equipment and backup and money as we have. It's not also like a fair fight, right?
Well,
I mean, we are really going through block by block trying to find themselves people, and it's the same way as any kind of revolutionary army has ever done in history. You hide, you jump in and out. That's why it's very, very difficult. That's why we were able to kick England out of this country, because we didn't line up against them.
And those in pretty uniform.
We did terroristic acts. It's not new stuff. It's old, sick, human stuff. It's gone on forever. And for some reason, we decided to step into this bucket of S. Why is beyond me. We were screaming we all had to do it. We all have to go. Which I never got at the time. Never got at the time. Here's Len. Len, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I've been loving your show tonight. Actually, I like all of your shows.
Yeah,
but just wanted to say I'm really sick and tired of these armchair citizens who have never served their country and don't do anything but bitch and moan when something has any inkling of going wrong. It just really pisses me off. I served my country with pride. I may not have always agreed with our foreign policy, but we went ahead and did it. And these armchair people should appreciate that there are enough of people like me who choose to serve. Because if not, they would all be drafted. And imagine how public opinion would be right now in Iraq. I mean, I'm just so fed up of that. And the other thing also that I'd like to point out is that when they were talking, the Senate committee was talking about the general with Rumsfeld and said, did you attempt to suppress? And the general said no. He was asking 60 minutes to delay airing the show. Not because they were suppressing it. It was already ongoing. And I'm sorry, the congressmen and the Senate, they knew about this back in January. It was known.
They're not acting like they were aware that it was as bad, including Rumsfeld. Including Rumsfeld, correct?
He was made aware that something had happened.
Yeah, but those pictures are explosive. Those pictures are explosive. If I said to Fez, hey, some really bad hijinks went on here over the weekend with some of our guys on our staff, that would be one thing. But if suddenly I had video and pictures, he'd be freaking out. It's highly understandable.
I can totally understand that. However, does the need to expose that on the television, knowing that you're going to jeopardize everybody else that's over there, okay, who made the choice to serve their country. Whether or not they agree with the war is not the issue, but to engender or endanger their lives.
But at the same time, you could say we're endangering those guys by putting them into a situation that's not well thought out. And without the press, you don't have anybody else to say that. Without the press and without free citizens being able to call a show like this, then the military would be finding themselves in worse and worse situations all the time.
But the irony of a free people and a free press was established by having a strong military that was put in place. But hold on, please, let me finish.
Absolutely, I agree with that part of it. But one is no more important than the other, because we don't want to have a strong military and then not free rights. We don't want that.
You absolutely do have that. We have it more than anyone else out there. But what gets me, okay, is that people, if you are an American citizen and you or not, if you are residing in the United States and you are a consumer of our economy, this is the risk that you take for enjoying the freedoms, for enjoying the product accessibility, for enjoying the prices, for enjoying the free access to the media, to have the right to say what you want to say. This is, unfortunately, a heavy price that we have to pay.
What is the price? I'm sorry, I don't understand. That
if we don't beat the Iraqis, we won't have free press.
No, what I'm trying to say is that whether or not you agree with why we should be there, we were sucked into it.
Yes, but sucked into it by who? Sucked into it by who?
Sucked into it, granted, I think we should have gone into Saudi Arabia. Afghanistan would have been better.
I agree with both those points.
My order of preference would have been Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan.
But we have to be free to say that, darling. We got to make your right free to say that.
But I have a right to say that I'm sick and tired of these armchair citizens.
They're not armchair citizens. They're actual citizens. In Stormtroopers, the movie.
This is not a Super Bowl. President Bush is not a quarterback that you can sit and yell through your television, this is how you throw the ball.
No, he's not a quarterback. He's the owner. The quarterback is getting beat up on the field. You're allowed to complain about the owner or the quarterback.
I'll tell you what, thank goodness for the free press, or this commander-in-chief who claims he never picks up a newspaper wouldn't have known what was going on in that prison, because he said he didn't know till he saw the pictures in the paper.
Well, to go back to an earlier caller, I do agree with them. Unfortunately, if anyone gets higher than the rank of major, I would bump it up a notch. Anyone higher than a rank of major gets blamed for this, I will be surprised.
I'll be surprised, too. And I think that we should all stay on top of it, that it goes up as high as it can. But the same thing...
But if there are going to be more pictures and videos, I understand the freedom of the press. You don't need pictures to drive the point home. The U.S. media, the newspapers are printed at the 5th grade level. If people can't understand the text, we don't need to drive the point home with pictures. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think we should have saw the pictures?
Just so that you know this, too, ma'am, the press didn't go over there and take those pictures. The soldiers themselves took the pictures.
I totally agree. I know. Having served and seeing morons take pictures that they shouldn't take, which is considered a war trophy and is illegal, and also with that girl, the one the size of the head with the size of a baseball.
It's not a big head, that's for sure. It's a tiny head.
Well, let's just say she should have kept both sets of her lips closed and should not have just been taking any pictures. Besides the point, she's pregnant. We are talking with people who don't have the high IQ, who probably never should have been in the military to begin with.
Okay.
Taking pictures, having sex, doing everything that you're not supposed to do while you're deployed, bringing total shame and embarrassment to the service, that doesn't reflect us. That said, when the press got a hold of the pictures, they still could have delayed it a little bit more until we were fully prepared to prosecute these morons, put them on trial, and then show the pictures for the rest of the world to see, and then, boom, slam dunk, met out the punishment to those idiots.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling.
They got the pictures from a soldier who was like, I can't put up with this abuse, and someone needs to know about this. This came from a soldier.
Yeah, and I'm sure his life is easy now. I'm sure he's having a relaxing time. Well, you can't say that people are opinionated, Fezzi, and they're not involved.
I'm glad they're passionate.
Yeah.
That it's not just going by.
And, you know, I'm sure this will be picked up later in the White Riot this weekend. I'm sure that'll be happening.
Talk about a 5th grade level. It's almost like Sports Illustrated for kids, White Riot. The people that can't understand a newspaper shouldn't be given the news anyway.
It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. No, I do not want a strong army and no press. That's
the price.
Yeah, that's the price.
They don't even realize what they're describing. Starship Troopers.
And we're so ready to give up our rights. After 9/11, we're ready to throw our rights out. Oh, everybody should have to be touched. Everybody, wherever you go, you should have to take your clothes off. Fezzy, this is from our buddy Ken in Portland, who's literally the funniest man in the world, and I would rather have you in Portland than him here with me.
What?
But anyway, he just sent this email that said, Soggy Ray Bottom's White Riot is the best fictional radio show to be based in Portland, Oregon since the call-in show that McLean Stevenson had on Hello, Larry. So you're getting a following in Portland.
And Ken from Portland would so be my buddy if he was
Quite an honor.
Yeah.
Quite an honor.
Oh, I'd rather you were with him and I was in Portland too, Fez. But he should be here.
If we were just all together.
Yeah. Just one big team.
It would be the best.
Maybe when White Riot goes out to Portland.
You can have Ken as your Trailblazers correspondent.
Roy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey,
Yeah.
For the last caller, I agree with at least 75% of what she said. Some of it is kind of BS, but the rest of it is pretty right on. I'm saying that the press really should not have put these pictures on. Just like she said, should at least waited, because this brings more attention to how they say that Bush had lied and made all these different lies.
Yes, that's what we want the press to do.
Well,
we want to
saying.
let us know when the president lies. It's important. It's important.
You know what? It's not, the reason why we went in there was for a certain reason.
What is it?
Reason
to get weapons of mass destruction that could be used in 45 minutes on us.
Which have not been proven that weren't there.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. It hasn't been proven that they weren't there.
No. As soon as he knew, as soon as Saddam Hussein says, oh, yeah, here come the damn, the UN and everybody else looking for these weapons of mass destruction, they're going to send them out. Of course. They're going to get rid of them. There's going to be no proof there.
All right, here's what you would do if you were Saddam Hussein and there was an attack on you.
Well, first,
you had weapons of mass destruction. You would use them. That would be the smart angle. You would use them.
And if you buried them and didn't use them, the new insurgent army would.
Well, you don't want the world on your back knowing that you have weapons of mass destruction.
He's in a cell. What could be worse for him? He's going to be put to death. It's not the smart move. It's not a smart move to do to bury things that are your weapons.
Use the weapons of mass destruction or climb in the spider hole with hot dogs and Snicker bars.
I'm pretty sure that he moved them to another Middle Eastern country like Saudi Arabia, Iran, anything like that.
No, Saudi Arabia is our best friends. They are our best friends.
What?
They're our best friends, Saudi Arabia. Talk to your President of the United States.
Well, if the weapons aren't there, if they got moved to Syria or something, why are we still in Iraq and not going to Syria looking for these things?
Because we're in a war that we've got to get rid of all the people that aren't. I hate you guys. I seriously hate you guys. You got me so damn flustered, I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm with you. We got to get rid of all the people.
Let's start with the ones that work for us.
No, let's get rid of all the people and then we'll sleep like babies at night. We'll just sleep like babies.
Oh, God, I hate you guys.
Do you mean just brown people?
Yeah.
Love you guys.
All right, see you later, buddy. Good luck getting rid of all the people. I'll tell you, it would be so relaxing.
Imagine getting rid of all the people. I think John Lennon put it best.
Boom goes London, boom Paris. More room for you and more room for me. We're taking a break here. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.